A few more minutes for anyone else to join. Right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day and your schedules to join and participate in Nebraska Medicine's Medical Assistant Virtual Open House. It's our goal today to give our participants an insight on becoming a medical assistant for Nebraska Medicine, what it means to join our team and be a part of Nebraska Medicine. I have some colleagues on that are my co-host. I've got Kendall there, and my name is Alicia Youngblood. I am a recruiter for Nebraska Medicine, and I recruit specifically for the medical assistants. Kendall, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Kendall, and I also am on the talent acquisition team. I work as a sourcer, and so a lot of times I work with medical assistants as they're kind of starting the journey to apply. So, before they decide which position they want to apply to, a lot of times I'll talk to them about the various different positions that we have available. So thanks for coming today and learning a little bit about those positions that we have at Nebraska Medicine. So I think if we're good, we can go ahead and start going through our agenda for the night. So we are going to hear from current medical assistants, and they're going to tell you a little bit about their journey to becoming a medical assistant, and you can hear about the position from their side. Our managers from various different clinics are going to also discuss, their perspective on working here at Nebraska Medicine and what they're looking for in candidates that would be applying for their positions. Then we're going to have just an overview, mostly from Alicia, of our current openings and how to apply, what our process is going to be. Lastly, we're going to do a prize drawing, and then we are going to have our final Q&A. So just a few housekeeping things with that. If you do have questions throughout the process, there should be a Q&A button either at the top or bottom of your screen that you can click and then type in any questions that you have at that time. And then we will do our Q&A at the end, addressing any of those questions that might not have been answered throughout our discussion. So we did have a few questions that were, submitted before we even started. So we made sure to get those on the docket. We'll make sure to get those answered for you. And then lastly, we are recording this session. So just so you're aware of that as well. But that is kind of the gist of our night tonight. We wanted to kick off first by showing you a video. This is a video of a clinic, the clinic culture, and kind of highlights our positions here at Nebraska Med and what we are like.
One of those things I observed immediately was nobody seemed really cheerful. Like it was a very serious demeanor when I walked in, and I'm used to working in clinics and settings where, we joke and we laugh and everybody's pretty happy. It was like everyone was very serious, so I didn't know if that was because I was new and they just didn't know how to take me or if this was just the culture of the environment. And as I got to be here a little bit longer, I found that it was the culture. One of my other nurses, as they were going through this work, came to me and said, what if we created an employee engagement committee? I decided to send out a survey to all employees and say, what would you like more of? What do you want less of? And what can I count on you to be accountable for to improve the culture in our clinic? And we're getting that feedback. We had a staff meeting. I didn't give names. I just gave what the themes were and what people gave as feedback for more of, less of. Kept the accountability piece to myself, and then I broke them up in groups and separated them all away from their friends or who they would normally be with for us to have some discussion and see what are the top 5 themes that you see or what do you feel is important. And that's where I feel like we really started to see a shift and change, because out of that we created our code of conduct. We thought it important to display our values at all times. So I always find opportunity in coaching of where we failed on our values as well as our code of conduct to bring them back into the circle of here's what our commitment was, here's the expectation, tell me how you're going to follow it. You always ask an employee why they're leaving, and one in transparency had told me that they were leaving because they wanted to grow and they didn't feel like our clinic had the opportunity. But once they left, I had quite a few team members come to me and say that they said they left because we didn't have any teamwork and we had drama. And so my question to them was, do we? Do we have a lack of teamwork and do we have drama? Because I can only do so much, right? I'm out there, I'm leading by example, I tell you my expectations, so what's happening when I'm not around? And that's when we really started to dig deeper into this work, and everybody was committed because the people that were left felt like, you know what, we do have good teamwork. We don't want any drama, and we do have a good team, and we're going to make this be a place where people enjoy coming to work and they want to stay.
She gave us these handy little cards here, the I Teach values, and she said basically these are the 6 things that this clinic is based off of. And with that came like no cell phones, so we could be in the now. And I've seen that that has really made a big difference.
Everybody's more relaxed. I think things are quieter. I think we're more efficient. Everybody in the clinic seems to be taking more responsibility for getting the patients in, getting them roomed, and supporting them.
I would say previously, very serious, very focused, very one channel. Now, fun, happy, great conversations going on with the patients as well as team interactions. Just very, I'm here to check you out, let me get you checked out, let me get you checked in. Now it's, hi, how you doing today? How'd your appointment go?
I've seen big change in everyone and everyone stepping up to the plate. It makes me feel positive, makes me want to come to work every day.
And the patients have said it. I have several patients that have asked for me to come out front. You know, when you have that request, you take a deep breath because you never know what you're walking into. But most have been that they've been coming to this clinic for quite some time, and they're very happy with the changes that they've seen in our clinic. So that speaks volumes to me, because that's not me, that's the staff.
So we hope that that gave you, kind of an overview of our I Teach values. If you talk to really any Nebraska medicine person, they're going to tell you that our I Teach values are huge and they're a big part of everything that we do. So I hope that was a good introduction, and you'll learn a little bit more about it throughout the night. So with that, I will hand it back over to Alicia.
All right, thank you. I love that video. That just shows one of our clinics. That's Shonda Ross is the clinic manager for the DLC Internal Medicine Clinic. And tonight we'll hear from other managers in specifically their clinics, but we want to give you an idea specifically from a current medical assistant and their journey into why they chose to come to work for Nebraska Medicine, and a little bit more about their responsibilities as a medical assistant. So first up, we have Amanda. Thank you, Amanda, for joining and being able to speak to our potential medical assistant.
Hi, yes, thanks for having me. I'm Amanda. I've been working with Nebraska Medicine now almost 2 years, coming up here in June, with dermatology. And I will say I didn't really know too much about dermatology before I came in. When going into medical assisting school, they kind of just teach you the basics with getting into school. So coming in for dermatology, it was a completely new area for me to learn. So it was definitely a challenge, but it definitely used all my skills that I I've learned in school to hear with medical assisting with dermatology. When you think of dermatology, you think, hair, skin, nails, but there comes just so much more with this, with the specialty clinic. We look at skin cancer on a daily basis. We see really sick patients that need us every single day. We do Mohs surgery, vein surgery, we do cosmetics. There's just a whole streamline of different things for dermatology. But my daily kind of task, teamwork is a huge thing here with us here at Nebraska Medicine. And I like that video too, because it really does show of how we've all grown here. But being with the patient 24/7 with their care is really nice. Here with dermatology, we get to be with the patient from beginning to end. So when that patient walks in, you go up to them, you meet them, hi, you introduce yourself, my name's Amanda, I'm going to be taking care of you today. It really comforts the patient, and you get to be there from the beginning to end with the provider as well. So there's so much that you can learn, at least in dermatology, that's how it is. But you help with procedures, excisions, all sorts of stuff. We, yeah, that's kind of it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that much. I may ask you some questions along the way, but let's go ahead and check in with our next medical assistant, just again to get an idea of how you got started. And Kendall, if you can, there we go. So Chaz is a current medical assistant for the Chalco Clinic. I've had the pleasure of shadowing Chaz to learn a little bit and follow him day in the life of a medical assistant at Chalco. Each clinic is a little different and operates a little differently, obviously working with a different set of patients. So if you want to hop on and share your experience.
Hi, thanks. My name is Chaz, and I'm a medical assistant at the Chalco Clinic. I've been with the Med Center for 13 years, and I started actually with my preceptor was down at the Plattsmouth Clinic, which was internal medicine and pediatrics at the time. And from the moment I started at the Med Center as a preceptor, I just loved it. It's just the family feel that brought me to want to be a part of everything. And the fact that I'm working at Chalco now, which is even a further drive, is just how much I do enjoy my job. Our providers out there are family medicine, and I actually even get to see Amanda when it's not pandemic time. And our providers out there, we do procedures such as Dr. Marcel will do nail removals. We'll help out with that. We'll get supplies ready for that. He does incisions and drainages. He'll do mole removals and things like that as well. We also do EKGs, lab work and stuff at our clinic, as well as injections, immunizations, all that different sorts of things. And throughout all of it, the best part about my job is actually getting to call out to different places to talk to people. All the connections you meet at the Med Center, they follow you, and everybody that you meet, it pretty much is a really positive attitude on things, always makes your day, makes it worth calling out there and doing all that stuff. So that's pretty much all I got. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chaz. And I definitely know, besides rooming patients, getting to know those patients on a regular basis, because you're seeing the same patients typically in that setting, you do so much more. So again, I may ask Chaz, those extra responsibilities that you take on besides rooming the patients and helping the providers, I may touch on that a little later. All right, so our next medical assistant works for the Neurosciences Center Clinic, Alexandra, and thank you, Alexandra, for telling us a little bit about your story and how you got started as a medical assistant and why you chose Nebraska Medicine.
Great, thanks for having me. So I've actually been a medical assistant for about 8.5 years, and I've been with Nebraska Medicine for about 9.5 months. Recently moved to the area from Oregon. And I chose Nebraska Medicine because of those I Teach values, because we really do focus on creating that better healthcare environment, not only for our patients, but for our staff. And I think that that's great. As a medical assistant, it is, like Alicia said, it's a lot more than just the rooming or doing vaccines. We get to learn something new every day, and we work really closely, with those providers and those patients to form that continuity of care that patients so greatly desire. And that's why I became a medical assistant, was to kind of bridge that gap, because we get to help with some of that education and follow-up stuff and talk to those patients behind the scenes. We get to be the behind the scenes people of what goes on in the healthcare world and at those doctor's appointments. And that's what's really enjoyable to me.
All right, thank you. So I hope that gives you a little bit overview and a little bit of an insight from 3 different medical assistants who are currently in the role, what they do on a daily basis and why they chose to go down this path. But we do have several clinic managers who we want to also address you, give you an idea of what it really looks like to be in their clinic, and from a manager's perspective, what they're looking for in a colleague and a medical assistant once you get through the hiring process, and again, what they're looking for in a team member. And Nikki Rosenau from the Warner Cancer Clinic. Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks, Alicia. Hi, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited to be here. I think Nebraska Medicine is the most amazing place to work. I left for 3 years and came back because there's no other place like it. I think the big thing about Nebraska Medicine is there are endless opportunities, and you can't get the experiences anywhere else. I manage the Buffett Cancer Clinic. We are located in the brand new Buffett Tower. We've been there about 2 years. Actually, it'll be 3 in July. And my team is fantastic. If you want to come to work and you want to work hard and you want to have fun doing it, I think my place is where you want to go. We actually have pre-COVID, about 1,000 patients a week that we see in our clinic, with about 30 different providers a day. We see every type of cancer you could possibly imagine, everything from dermatology to blood. We see pediatrics all the way through the end of life. And we have lots of things to offer our medical assistants. We do lots of procedures. We do cystoscopies and rhinoscopies. We do biopsies, EKGs, bladder scans. We're actually looking at some additional procedures, and we have our MAs assist in those procedures. Anal scopes are another one that we do. And so not only are we giving immunizations and rooming patients, but we're also coordinating all those types of things. And we actually started doing blood draws again due to COVID. So we get lots of experiences. I think my team is fantastic, and I think myself is pretty cool, if you can say that. And I think to go along with the whole opportunity thing, when I say Nebraska Medicine does offer lots of opportunities, I truly believe that. I have a supervisor, and her name is Samantha Colvert, and she's actually a medical assistant. And so now she's helping oversee the entire clinic operations. So I think if you're looking for something in a leadership role or just more of a procedural type of role, I think Nebraska Medicine is where you want to be.
Thank you, Nikki. And before we move on to the next clinic manager, I wanted to ask you what specifically are some characteristics that you're looking for in candidates as you interview and try to find the best candidate for your clinic.
Yeah, thanks, Alicia. I think the thing that we're looking for is someone who has a good teamwork and work ethic. I think, if you come to work and you try really hard, you'll do really well on our team. If you jump in and help people, they are always willing to help you. I also think that we're looking for someone who wants to take on kind of a leader role. But I think we have a great dynamic of individuals on our team. And so maybe you're not like the most vocal leader, but you're a great leader within your own team and with your physician. And then someone who just kind of likes a challenge. I think we do have lots of challenges and lots of things to learn, and it's not the same old every single day.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Our next manager. is Jill. So I work closely with Jill. Again, we saw Chaz from the Chalco Clinic, and Jill is the manager of the Chalco Clinic, and she also oversees our float pool. So I do know there were some questions about some other opportunities, and we do have that float pool where you get a little more experience than being in one specific clinic every day. Thanks, Jill.
Thank you, Alicia. Welcome. My name is Jill File. As Alicia alluded to, I'm the manager of the Chalco Clinic, so I work closely with Chaz. I also have a unique opportunity, as she mentioned, for the primary care float pool. So I have a few positions for medical assistants. This is something new. This is something that we have not done before with primary care. So it would be the typical medical assistant duties. And then on top of that, you would actually be responsible for floating to the 14 different primary care clinics that we have across Omaha. And so what that would look like is if somebody is out on maternity leave or FMLA, that you would be the person that was going to help that clinic get through that process. So if somebody needs to be out for a week due to a funeral, we would deploy you to that area so that you could help that clinic out. A couple of unique things about this is it's new, so it'd be an awesome opportunity to start something from the ground up and help create it to what it needs to be or could be. You get to network with others across the organization. As Chaz said, this is one of the coolest parts about Nebraska Medicine is it's very large and you get to know people around the organization and build lifelong relationships with. And so this is an opportunity where you're actually going to each different clinic to build those relationships. And then you get a unique look into how each different clinic functions. So we would be covering the 14 primary care clinics. So we would all these clinics are family medicine and internal medicine. But as you know, each little clinic has nuances or ways they do things with the typical MA duties. And then there is a little bit of a pay incentive for the fact that you would be floating to different clinics, so you're not showing up at the same place every single day. The MA role in primary care is rooming patients, giving injections, performing blood draws, point of care testing such as UA, strep tests, those kinds of things. One of the biggest things that I think sometimes is overlooked is keeping the clinic flowing and moving. You're like the provider's right-hand person. And so they lean on you to say, this is what needs to happen next, or, you know, we need to look at this first. I think that's something that's incredibly important. So you would be responsible for all that. And then also assisting with procedures does happen as well too. What I'm personally looking for in an individual is somebody that just has a positive attitude. We're starting something new. I need somebody that's willing to step out of their comfort zone and try new things and just have a good outlook, have a positive outlook on that. And then also somebody that's willing to be a team player and somebody that is accountable. That's all I got.
Thank you. All right. Let's move on. Denise Gorski, Clinic Manager for Neurosciences Center Clinic. I also have worked with Denise, have a couple of positions available currently that we're looking for. So Denise, take it away.
Hi, thank you, Alicia. Thank you for having me. So as Alicia said, my name is Denise, and I've been with Nebraska Medicine for almost 24 years, with the last 5 in leadership positions within neurosciences. And our neurosciences are quite special here, as we are a regional and in some cases national referral center for some very special patients. So our clinic consists of 6 different subspecialty programs: MS, epilepsy, neuromuscular, memory disorders, movement disorders, stroke, and then of course general neurology. And I have the pleasure of working with Alex, and Alex primarily works on our epilepsy team, and that's how we really divide our MAs within our clinic, is we make them very team specific so that they have the opportunity to gain that in-depth knowledge around very unique patient populations. So while we are one clinic, I've always thought of us as being 6 different mini clinics within those walls. Our patients have very unique challenges and needs and often come to us just extremely grateful for the opportunity to finally meet with that subspecialist who might be able to give them the answers and the diagnoses that they've been looking for. I think what we're looking for is just, you know, Jill had mentioned positivity and teamwork, and Nikki had some great characteristics as well, and I would concur with all of that. I think, you know, with many clinics as in neurosciences, I need flexibility and adaptability, and with our unique patients, you know, you need that person who can just roll with the day as it comes, because of the unique challenges the patients bring, and nothing is ever really as straightforward as we like it to be in, you know, the global system of healthcare. And I think those individuals within the clinic that really understand their patient populations and just know that they're going to have some unique needs, and you learn something new every single day, are the people that are going to be really happy. I think from a clinic perspective, from a hands-on perspective, it really depends on the team. Our movement disorder team does Botox injections and DBS, deep brain stimulator evaluation. Our epilepsy team gets involved with RNS and VNS patients, so more stimulator patients. We do skin biopsies, vaccinations, bladder scanning, and our MAs do participate in phlebotomy as we need it. So really great program, super excited to share that with you, and hopefully we'll catch some of you for the programs.
Thank you so much, Denise, for sharing. Definitely that compassion for all the clinics, but some of those specialty clinics for sure, definitely looking for those compassionate individuals who want to work, have a passion for that area. Our next manager is Tiara Robinson for the LOC Dermatology Clinic, and I'm waiting to hear what you have to share about your clinic and what you're looking for in candidates.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alicia. So welcome all potential candidates. My name is Tiara Robinson, manager for Nebraska Medicine Dermatology. You heard from Amanda. She is one of our high functioning medical assistants. And so thank you for joining us again tonight, Amanda. So I have been with Nebraska Medicine for 11 years, about 2 years as a manager. I think our department is one of the newer departments to Nebraska Medicine. We started seeing our first patients in August of 2018, so coming up on 2 years, which I think makes our clinic very unique. We have a ton of opportunities. We have a very passionate and engaged medical director. Our department is new and continuously growing and expanding. I think we currently have 4 medical assistant positions open because we continue to recruit additional physicians. We see just a number of skin conditions, from your really common acne, psoriasis, all the way
Oh no, I think we lost her. Hopefully she logs back in so that we can hear again their great opportunities there and the physicians that are there. While we're waiting on Tiara to log back in, I did want to share my contact information with all of the participants. As I am the talent acquisition recruiter, I would be the one to work with along with Kendall when you're ready to apply. And we're hoping that after today's session, it does call you to become a Nebraska Medicine employee and work as a medical assistant. So if you want to jot down my email, you can definitely reach me afterwards or later on if you think of any questions that aren't addressed tonight. And then just going through the process, we'll ask that you go to our website, nebraskamed.com/careers, and research some of those opportunities. Again, we have about 19 open positions as of today. Those are always changing as we work with new providers in different clinics. And so it's across Nebraska Medicine. As Jill mentioned, we have 14 different ambulatory clinics. So sometimes we have those positions open, or there's that opportunity for the float pool. I currently have medical assistant positions for Buffett and neurosciences, Bellevue, Twin Creek, just all over. So great opportunities if you wanted to reach out to myself or Kendall to inquire about those opportunities, to really see if it's going to be a good fit. And if you want to explore something new that you haven't been in before, that would be a great time to ask questions and see what we have available. Most positions are full-time, Monday through Friday during the day. That can vary between 7:30 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. depending on the clinic need. And again, going to our website, you can actually right now put in up to 3 different applications in our system at once. So if there's multiple positions that you're interested in, you can definitely apply to up to 3, or you can put in 1. And as I'm talking to each candidate, I usually do just go over our other opportunities as we're having that discussion about what you're looking for. And again, I'm matching some of your characteristics as far as, you're a people person, you're great at teamwork, or even if you're a little shy and maybe 1,000 patients a week is a little overwhelming to you, maybe a specialty clinic would be a better fit. So we have a lot of opportunities there. I see that Tiara joined us. I'm not sure if we can have her hop back on while we're working on that. Let's see, again, different locations. So location, whether it's on main campus or an offsite such as Bellevue or Elkhorn, that's also an opportunity. But just wanted to let all the candidates know, once you put in an application in our system, it will ask you to complete an assessment. So the application process itself may take about 20 to 30 minutes for you to upload your resume, input your information in there, answer all the questions. But then after that application is submitted, we do ask you to complete an assessment, which is about another 30 or so questions that we ask to get another feel of what would be a good fit for you and what are some of your strengths. We do tie it back to our I Teach values that we talked about and, in the video, and along the way, we look at your accountability. Are you someone who just takes accountability for your work? Are you compassionate? Do you have a passion for helping others? So those questions tie in with our I Teach values and gives us, again, just another viewpoint of if you would be a great fit for Nebraska Medicine. Let's see here. Anything else I can share with you about that application process? So once you have the application in, that's when you and I would connect and talk about the different opportunities and hopefully get set up for an interview. So I do see that Tiara joined us again. And thank you for joining back. I was just going over next steps in the process, but we definitely want to hear a little bit more about your clinic and everything you have to offer.
Awesome. So sorry about that. Not sure what happened. However, as I was just kind of mentioning that we just have a number of opportunities. I feel like our medical assistants really get just a lot of experience, a lot of hands-on experience. We currently have 7 providers who are all very much involved, engaged, committed to teaching. And so really what we look for in candidates are just those who want to come in, who want to work hard, who just have a lot to offer and a lot of just desire to learn and grow. You can ask Amanda, I feel like we are just building a family. We come to work and we enjoy coming to work with each other. Not only do we, work together in clinic, but we also just take a lot of time to do things outside of clinic. Obviously when it's not COVID, but we just really pride ourselves in being very just family oriented. We also get a lot of variety by being able to partner with some of the other clinics. You heard from Jill, you heard from Nikki. We work very closely with their teams. We see patients at a few of our different clinic locations throughout the community. And so our staff just enjoy being able to travel with the physicians and just really having that daily hands-on. We do a number of procedures as well as surgeries, and just are really able to offer a lot to the medical assistants who are in our area. So again, we have a few positions open, and so we look forward to some really good, high quality candidates.
Thank you, Tiara. Before you hop off, how many patients do you see in your clinic a week?
So good question. In a week, I would say we see about, trying to think, across the providers, I'd say we see about 200 patients a week at our LOC location, and then at the other locations throughout the community, we see about 700 patients in a month. And so just a wide variety of experiences.
Absolutely. Thank you. I always get that question when I'm talking to candidates, and I was just talking again about the different opportunities that we have available, and when we're looking at those candidates and their qualities, matching them with the right opportunity so that they are fulfilled when they join us. Not to say that, once they're on board, obviously, if you have that desire to explore other opportunities, that's always there. But right from the jump, we really want to make that connection and match a candidate with the right opportunity, the right clinic, and seeing how many patients are seen in a week at each clinic is good information to know if it's going to be a good fit. Obviously, with that specialty, you may see a little less a number of patients in a week. But if you're someone who has to get up and go and likes to stay busy and likes that, can function in that high volume environment, those are some of the clinics that we can steer you in. So again, there's my contact information. I would love to connect with everyone offline afterwards. Definitely want to see some applications in. If we can hop to the next slide, let's see. All right, so before we get to any live Q&A, again, there is that chat function. If you want to put your question down there, we will try to address it, whether it's a question for our current medical assistants or any of our clinic managers. We did have a couple of questions come through. So that first question was about our benefits, and I won't go into detail here, but we definitely offer great benefits with Nebraska Medicine. So for our full-time employees and part-time, if you're working over 20 hours a week, which again, most of our positions are full-time, although we do offer some part-time and casual positions in that medical assistant role. But as far as benefits, we have our health insurance, vision, dental, paid time off, and our retirement package. So great comprehensive benefit package that we will discuss during the interview process. If anyone has any specific questions to what we offer, I can definitely answer that offline. Our next question was about our clinics. So again, Jill talked about our ambulatory clinics, 14 different ambulatory clinics, but throughout Nebraska Medicine, we're so huge. We have positions in clinics throughout the Omaha metro area, but then also Bellevue, La Vista, Elkhorn, let's see, Grand Island, Midtown, downtown, you name it. And so we definitely have it on our website, nebraskamed.com. It does go through our various clinics, and you can seek those out, do a little bit of research. It does give a little synopsis or summary of the services that we provide within those clinics, but lots of opportunities. And again, right now we are at about 19 or 20 different positions, medical assistant positions throughout our organization at various clinics. And let's see, do we have any positions working in trauma or urgent care? So actually, that's something I didn't mention today. We do have our immediate care clinic. So similar to urgent care, it's after-hour care. Those positions are in the evenings and weekends. So if you, are open to those non-traditional day, Monday through Friday hours, we do have our urgent care that are open in the evenings from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the weekends. Typically, those are schedules, part-time schedules or even full-time, but you are able to schedule yourself. You're able to let us know when you're available and get your hours in that way. One of the things with this, just like our float pool, there is an expectation to float across the different immediate care clinics. So that's also a great opportunity to get your foot in the door, maybe not full-time, but also to get that opportunity and explore the different clinics throughout Nebraska Medicine. So those are the questions that were pre-submitted. Want to give it and turn it over to our current participants and see if there's any other questions that we can address for you. And Kendall, I just wanted to also turn it over to you to see if there's any general questions that you typically get from candidates who are interested, but maybe don't know what area they would be a good fit.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we had covered today had been a good amount of the questions that I got. I think I do get some questions on the application side as far as, submitting a resume and a cover letter with their application, or if they just need to complete the app. So I guess as the recruiter, what would you say for that specific type of question that someone might have?
Sure. I mean, as a recruiter, I look at anything that's submitted. If you don't have that resume attached to the application, that's okay. But I do find that individuals only want to list relevant experience on the actual application. But if you have a full resume with other experience, that's great to see as well. Before you got into the healthcare area, did you have any additional customer service experience? I look at that. We look at your longevity in your work history. So again, if you are just starting out in the MA role, you might not have a lot of healthcare experience, but we definitely want to see you as a whole person, see your experience. And so if you don't list it on your application, it does take a little time to type everything out. And if you have a resume, it's there, it's updated. It's nice to see as well.
Great. And it looks like we did have a question come in to our Q&A function asking, what are the typical hours of clinics? Are they 12-hour shifts?
Absolutely. So I can tell you the positions that I have currently available are Monday through Friday day shifts. So again, as early as 7:30, as late as 7:30 a.m. and as late as 5:30 p.m. So it's just an 8-hour shift typically. And then on those immediate care clinics, it can be a shorter shift, 4 hours, 6 hours when you're scheduling yourself. And then even part-time positions within the clinic that can still be as needed when they typically need that extra help. Sometimes it's certain days when providers are in the office and they see an influx in patients. And so, that's something we can definitely work out, but typically it's just an 8-hour shift or less.
Great. Well, if there's any other questions, you can submit those to the Q&A section. But I wanted to also mention, just before we get going for the night, is we are doing the prize drawing for our t-shirt tonight, and the name that we had drawn was Jamie Sullivan. So Jamie, congratulations. Thanks you for coming tonight. I will be emailing you to get where we should send that for you. So be looking for that in your email box. And for everyone else that came tonight, thank you so much. Thanks to all of our panelists here as well for sharing their insights.
Absolutely. Thank you all.